Why is hip hop seems like the only genre with an age limit? Because
Man,
people want to be like, man, if you over 30, you old. You can't do hip hop. When did that happen? And is it really true?
Keep it pushing, see through the dark like Stevie Wonder.
Yo. So, okay, let's jump into this first topic.
let's get it.
Now, at the Grammys, we had a bunch of people who won awards from the age of 33 all the way up to the age of 64. A couple of these awards was in the hip hop genre.
For sure.
So my question is, why is hip hop seems like the only genre with an age limit? Because
Man.
people want to be like, man, if you over 30, you old. You can't do hip hop. When did that happen? And is it really true?
You're 30 years old. You can't come in.
You can't come in. You're old as hell if you're 33 still rapping. Why are you still rapping? But if you do rock and roll or pop music, I mean, look at Madonna. Madonna about damn near 70. Okay? She's still doing music. Y'all
Still
ain't
going.
said she old.
Ain't said
Bruh.
Why hip hop? When did hip hop become a young man's sport?
Man, that's a great question. I think hip hop started off as a young man's sport.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it started off as it's kind of rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And rebellion is not always a bad thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got Public Enemy, fight the power.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're going against politics or people abusing black people or something, so I think
when civil
rights. So when you're thinking about rebellion or you're thinking about aggression, you think of a younger age, right?
Yeah.
Because they like, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? We going this way.
It need to get back to that, but keep going.
Right. So I think when people think about it, that's what they think about. And you think about dancing, or you think about having fun. That's hip hop, right? And so for some reason, people think once you get 30, you got to stop having fun. You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're expected to be a little more mature. You're not going to do the same things you did when you was younger.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a wife and kids, you can't just be out here wilding out.
Mm-hmm.
But I think whenever you're an artist or you have a talent, you should never put an age limit on that, right?
Facts.
Like just because you 30, 35, you can still talk about life. You can still rap. You can still sing. You know what I'm saying? So, and now you got a lot of older rappers that are still rapping.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of that's about to change. You got Jay-Z still rapping. Drop one of his hardest verses at what, 55, 54?
I mean, it's true.
And of course, we got Killer Mike, just won a Grammy at 48.
Three of them.
Busta Rhymes.
Speaking of Killer Mike, hold on a second. It was a lot of people on social media when they saw who actually won those Grammys, because he was up against Travis Scott.
Yeah.
He was up against Drake.
Yeah.
And a lot of people was like, who is Killer Mike? And they was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you listen to all three albums, I still think Killer Mike album was better than Drake's and Travis Scott. And they were saying, well, who is this guy? And I bet you can't name a Killer Mike song. That's fair, because Killer Mike ain't dropped the album in 11 years. So he don't have a lot of bodies of work.
Yeah.
But the bodies of work that he do have are classics. But yeah, I didn't like that, man. It's like they kind of dissing, the older generation who kind of laid the bricks for where we are today.
Facts. That's facts.
But yeah, continue, my brother. I just had to
keep Killer Mike's name out your mouth.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But yeah, I think when people think of the hip hop genre, you think of young people dancing. You think of young people being rebellious. You think of young people being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that's changing, because now you got older folks that's looking younger now. I mean, look at J-Lo.
Mm-hmm.
She like 60 and she's still fine.
You think she probably had some work done, though?
That's some good work.
J-Lo might have had some work done.
That's some good work. But I'm just saying, and I think the age gap is kind of closing because of social media.
Yeah.
You got people that's over 50 that's on social media now that can keep up with the trends, that can keep up with the music. It ain't like back in the day we go to school and we learn something, we come home, they're like, where you learn that from? Now they online, so
Yeah, they can get plugged in.
they can get plugged in. So I think a lot of it's changing because of social media. And and people got to understand, like, when you in your 20s, you're gonna be partying most of the time. 90% of the time, you're gonna be partying, getting out, getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure life out. And sometimes you're not even gonna be able to get to your dream or your passion like you want to you in your 30s. You're not gonna take it serious to then.
Yeah.
And you can be like, damn, I was just 18. Now I'm 35, but I still got
Hey.
this passion. I still want to rap or I still want to sing. And so you got to understand, you can't put an age limit on, oh, I'm 30. I guess I got to start being old and walking with canes. You know what I'm saying? Like, folks is crazy thinking I'm going to be out here walking with a cane looking like an old man.
I mean, if you just got to keep on living. And when I think of hip hop, man, I'm just trying to think of how it makes me feel.
Hmm.
Not just being somebody who creates hip hop, but as a participator, first hearing somebody like a Snoop Dogg or first hearing somebody like a Lil Wayne, like how it made me feel. And then when we're making music, I think of this as an expression of my creativity.
Hmm.
Now, I think the music that you're making at 20 something years old, you should not be making the same music at 30, 35.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or even now, if you're 20 and now you're 25, if you're still making the same music, is your heart behind it?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I think, and that's the problem. I think hip hop has not it hasn't grown over the years. It's kind of stayed the same. Or now you have this, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna kill you, and violence, and some of it's just nonsense. That's why hip hop sales are down over 50%. That's why a lot of these record labels are struggling. That's why they're scrambling right now trying to do something, because the sound and I don't know when it changed. About, I heard somebody talking about this the other day. He was like, what value has gangster rap brought to the hip hop culture?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's when it kind of changes with the gangster rap. And it was a lot of people in the comments like zero. It just, and the record labels put money behind that kind of sound and that kind of, killing and shooting and guns. But like I said, if you get on a song and talk about killing a dog, oh man.
You're gonna get Mike Vick.
Okay. But let me just say it, you can talk about killing a nigga and it's okay. Like, something is wrong with that. That ain't right.
I think that's the other thing too. If you're on the outside of hip hop looking in, and if I come to you and say I'm a rapper, 90% of the time in your head you can be like, oh, you must be killing folks in your lyrics.
Oh yeah, 99%.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something else to do with why people put an age limit on it, because a lot of people have in their head that hip hop is just killing and strip clubs, and so they like, so you can't be doing this past 30.
Yeah.
But hip hop it's more than that. It's more than gangster rap. It's more than strip club music. You know what I'm saying? It's politics. It's real life, and like you said, it's not a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the issue too. It's not a lot of it's not diversified enough right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why people think about hip hop. They think about all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, that's all it is. So you got to be young and stupid.
Yeah, it's associated with that kind of life.
It's associated with that life. That's why people think that if you're doing it past 30, they assume that you're rapping about the same type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
and unfortunately, you do have some rappers past 30 who's been in the game for 15, 20 years plus, still talking about the same thing, still pushing murder culture, still pushing, well, I'm out here, I got 100 girls and I got 100 cars. And I mean, how far can that go? How long can you do that type of music? You know what I'm saying? If you look at the statistics, it says by the year 2054 that Black people will be at the bottom of the food chain. Why? Because they go out and they buy stuff that they cannot afford. Why? Because we push it through the hip hop culture.
Go get you a Bentley.
Okay, with your broke ass.
Go get you one.
You know what I'm saying? I seen this the other day. This is gonna trip you out, bro. Have you heard that they are now, you can go and rent to own some Jordans? Yes.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
You
conversation.
can go rent to own some Jordans. It just show you that we would rather front and act like we have it instead of just, being realistic, like really working on your money, working on your credit. You rather go get the $3,000 Gucci bag, but you're behind on, maybe your mortgage or something. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do that.
Drive the Ferrari, but you ain't got no furniture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's upside down, man.
Don't do that.
It's upside down,
Invest your taxes.
It's upside
Don't
down,
buy no
bro.
J's.
But yeah, I think, man, it's time for hip hop, and I mean it's gonna have to change because, like I said, sales are down. I think a lot of these artists that y'all know are really broke because the labels are just pushing them. They're pumping them up. I can name some, but I will not. And then you got some of these new artists. I mean, it's just poison to the culture, man. It's poison to the culture, my friend. Especially some of these new women artists. Poison to the culture. Straight up. And you know who I'm talking about.
We ain't gonna say no names.
Poison to the culture. Any more final thoughts? I feel like I got on a rant right there.
He got a little passionate there.
Got a little passionate right there.
Final thoughts is at age 30, you're not too old. Or age 40, you're not too old to follow your passion, your dreams, your goals. Whether that's rap, hip hop, singing, lawyer, doctor, whatever. Stop thinking that you're too old after the age 30 to do what you want to do. Because 99% of the time, you're going to be going through so much stuff in your 20s. By the time you hit 30, you're going to be like, man, it's time for me to get focused and serious.
Okay.
So you thinking that you're going to have it all figured out by age 30, you can forget about it.
Okay.
You ain't even got started with life yet. But yeah.
And if you do hip hop, we really need to get back to some of those real stories.
For sure.
If you go back to, like I say, early 70s, 80s, that's what they used to do, man. They used to tell stories about what they was actually doing, what they was going through. And now it's just, I'm just gonna make up. I'm gonna make up that I got a Bentley, I got 100 girls, I got racks that's borrowed from the label, which is a record loan. I mean, you just fronting, man. So yeah, we need to get back to real hip hop, man.
For sure.
Keep it pushing, see through the dark like Stevie Wonder.